As graduation season gets underway, it looks like Democratic and liberal speakers will dominate the commencement scene. The Daily Caller reporting the number of liberal speakers will outnumber conservatives at top schools by 7 to 1.
Wow.
Among the nation's Ivy League schools, former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick is speaking at Harvard. Vice President Joe Biden at Yale. At Princeton, famed film director Christopher Nolan, a Democratic donor. Former Democratic Congresswoman Gabby Giffords and her husband, former NASA astronaut Mark Kelly, will speak at Cornell. Conservative New York Times columnist David Brooks will deliver the commencement at Dartmouth. And President Obama's UN ambassador Samantha Power will speak at the University of Pennsylvania. Two schools, Brown and Columbia, do not have graduation speakers this year.
Where are you speaking?
Listen, if someone wants to pay me to speak at graduation, I definitely will.
Have you graduated yet?
Yeah, I know. Listen, I have a few credits left, Harris.
I know you do.
I actually think it's good that all these liberal Democrats are speaking at these commencements because they can explain why there'll be no jobs for any of these people when they graduate, right, KG?
How liberal policies ruin and destroy cities.
That's right.
Don't go to any of those places that have one in charge. I love commencement speeches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good time. It's families celebrate, and hopefully you can hear someone interesting, even if you don't perhaps agree with all of their political ideology. You nevertheless can benefit perhaps from some of their life experience. And
do you remember who your commencement speaker
was?
No,
we couldn't afford one.
You couldn't afford one? I find that hard to believe.
I gave a speech. That was it.
Now, what's going on here, Powers? I mean, 7 to 1.
But this has been happening for a long time.
Doesn't make it right.
I actually write about this. No, I write about this in my book that's coming out on Monday. What's so strange about it is that almost everyone who's invited is liberal, and then, as we know, when a random conservative gets invited, they get protested, and half the times they get disinvited or intimidated out of coming, and so it makes it even more stark that there's hardly any conservatives going there in the first place, and the level of intolerance and lack of desire for intellectual diversity that they just want to hear from liberals.
That's probably why I won't be speaking at commencement, because I'll get egged by all the students.
You wouldn't make it onto the campus.
No, I probably wouldn't.
So are you proposing that they should just do away with commencement speakers that have any defined, clear, outspoken political affiliation?
I'm not taking a position on this at all. I'm just saying I think it's pretty crazy that these bastions of tolerance are only inviting liberals. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Because they don't want to protest at their school over nothing.
I was going to say, Kirsten just pointed out, when the conservative people are asked to speak, it's protested or they're forced to not do it.
And it looks like even the conservatives that they do have, I mean, there was like Colin Powell and David Brooks. I don't know if everybody around this couch would think those guys are really conservatives.
I don't think they'd confuse them with liberals, though.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't even really swing the pendulum that much to the left.
I want to go back to Kirsten for just a second, because first of all, please shamelessly plug your book again. It's called The Silencing, and you talk all about this issue. So,
yeah, no, I mean, this is a really
how do we
serious
stop this
issue.
from happening?
I mean, it's a very serious issue that on campuses there is a real intolerance for intellectual diversity, and that they are so hostile to the idea of having people come and say, and you know, a lot of the people that have been protested we've seen in the past, they're not even coming to talk about politics. I mean, they're giving a commencement speech. It's just they don't want Condoleezza Rice there because she was in the Bush administration, but she's not coming to talk about the Iraq War. I think we have to expose it, honestly. I think that we have to say that this is not okay. The Harvard Crimson also just had something last week about how 98% of Harvard Law School professors donated to the Democratic Party. I mean, that is just, that's not acceptable. You have to have diversity.